So here on this channel, the videos I make about these records tend to be the more interesting ones that I think are better to share and get other people listening to. There's a lot of stuff that I enjoy in between that's a bit more run-of-the-mill and routine, and on the blog I tend to talk about a lot of that sort of stuff. I tend not to go out of my way though to find things that I'm not really that interested in, and remembering an old Earth record that didn't appeal to me many years ago, I thought I'd dig it out and really try and get into it. So today we're going to talk about a record that I didn't really enjoy. A recent revival of Hibernaculum and The Bees Made Honey had me curious about their pre-reformation works that had been heaped with praise. As a curious teenage enthusiast, this record had left me dumbfounded to what the fuss was about. Now with open mind and ears, I find myself with a similar sentiment, although context may play a role given what this anomaly may have meant to listeners back in the 90s. With 3 gargantuan songs totaling 73 minutes, Earth 2 strikes me as more of a singular experiment in tone than anything structured, planned, or even designed. This is drone metaling resembling very little of metal and much more of the drone one might associate with engine noises and electronic buzzing. The entire musical piece is awash with the dense, drowning, fuzzy flood of guitar distortion cycled with amp feedback to muzzle anything that happens to wander across its bleak path. Admittedly, I can comment there is a strange charm and allure to the droning noise, but is it a work of genius? I suspect not. As background or foreground music, it is mostly grating, and is best enjoyed when entirely distracted from its presence. Perhaps it's just not my cup of tea. I understand the appeal, but this particular aesthetic at play here is mostly a discomfort that feels pointless to endure its unsettling presence. With 7 angels, a lone guitar deploys burly riffs reminiscent of Black Sabbath on loop, slowly chugging palm mutes and rising to chord slaps with slices of short melody. It stands aside for offering something to focus on, yet feels unremarkable to me. The second track shifts aesthetics slightly, the guitar work goes in a moody direction, but ultimately, its emotions are smothered by the droning dirty sludge. It's not until Like Gold and Face Ted that we hear drums, slow, temporal, and disappearing for tempo-shattering durations. They barely crash through the wall of brown sound. At the hour mark, a scream can be heard, and before it, a little lead guitar, but as mentioned, these events do little to conjure purpose or intent. I must say, it does sound like cryptic rumblings are woven beneath the drone at times, where its consistency breaks, and cracks of something else is heard, undecipherable. The whole thing seems like an unplanned session hinged around the concept of smothering the listener in blistering feedback for an unreasonable amount of time. Its spontaneous blurts of additional sounds seem disconnected and purposeless. If there is magic to be found here, it has certainly eluded me, although I suspect the aid of hallucinogenics might yield different results for those who use them. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to see some more of my music blogs, go check the website out. Every page has over 1,000 articles sorted by artist, year, genre and more. Just hit Ctrl F and have a search for something that interests you. You can find a link to the blog in the description box down below, where you'll also find links to my other YouTube channels. Check them out if you are curious. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to subscribe to catch the next upload.